Hey guys, so today we are in session 3, day 2 in our fully devoted devotional. And it's for today, it's called The Consideration of Cost. And our passage it shows right here being Luke chapter 14, verses 28 through 30. But a little bit down, we can see where it says if you want more context to read verses 25 through 27. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to read 27 or 25 through 30. We're just going to read all those verses so that we can get the full picture of what's going on here. So let's go ahead and read that passage and then we'll continue. So starting in Luke chapter 14, verse 25, it says, "Now great crowds accompanied Jesus, and he turned and said to them, 'If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yes, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has had enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish.'" Now, it starts off in our devotional saying in this passage, Jesus wasn't giving his disciples a lesson on building a business in carpentry so they could make extra money with the side hustle. He was using an analogy to teach what it truly means to follow him. So why would Jesus risk losing popularity and followers by speaking these difficult words to the crowd? And my answer for this is Jesus didn't come to make fake followers. Jesus didn't come to make fake followers. And it says salvation is received by grace through faith, not works. And we see that in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9. So how then are Jesus' words in Luke chapter 14, verses 25 through 30 also true? And a verse came to mind after I read that question. And the verse is James chapter 2, verse 18, where it says, "But some will say, you have faith and I have works." And then it goes on to, hold on, I actually have it right here. No, I forgot to put it into our ProPresenter. That's okay. After that, it says, "Show me your faith apart from your works, and I will show you my faith by my works." So a true disciple, out of their love and faith in Jesus, will bear their own cross and follow him. There will be evidence that you belong to Jesus, that you follow him. So how might family commitments or other relational situations in your life sometimes hinder you from following Jesus with full devotion? And there's different scenarios. I mean, there's a million of them. But for me, the answer that came to my mind was a spouse might not be comfortable with your new love and zeal for the Lord. They might not be as on fire as you are, which could hinder or even discourage you. So that could be something that would keep you from being fully devoted to Jesus. But Jesus invites everyone to receive his free gift of salvation and follow him, but we don't get to define what that means. He does. We don't follow Jesus on our terms. We follow Jesus on his terms, and his terms can only be described as full devotion. As such, following Jesus has consequences, meaning you're deciding to prioritize him above everything and everyone else. So going over to the next page, it's telling us to read Luke chapter 14, verses 31 through 33. So let's go ahead and do that. It says, "Or what king going out to encounter another king in war will not sit down first and deliberate whether he is able to with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000? And if not, while the other is yet a great way off, he sends a delegation and asks for terms of peace. So therefore, any one of you who does not renounce all that he has cannot be my disciple." There it is again. So based on this passage, what decision are you making when you turn to Jesus in faith? And my answer for this is we are deciding to renounce all that we have and make Jesus our number one priority. It costs you nothing to receive salvation. Yet, in receiving salvation, you surrender everything to Jesus, no matter the cost. It is whatever is necessary type of commitment, a willingness to let go of family, friends, possessions, dreams, goals, and any other thing that is necessary to follow him with full devotion. Jesus said there is no other way. And so the next thing it's going to ask us is, if you have made a decision to follow Christ, did you first consider the cost of surrendering your life to him? And what has the experience of following Jesus cost you along the way? Again, like I've said in the past, these are personal answers. It's not one size fits all. It's everybody is going to have a different answer in this. And for me personally, I put initially, I did not count the cost initially. But as I matured spiritually, I began to see the cost. And now I try to surrender daily to him all that I am. But I can tell you what it's costed me, and that's friendships. And that's the biggest one for me right now. Surrendering to Jesus, all that I am, it has cost me friendships. That big circle I had got very small, very quick. And at times, as a Christian, you can be misunderstood. Be misunderstood as cold or not understanding, when in reality you really do understand and you want what's best for them, and it's out of love. So you can often be misunderstood. So the next question, it says, what danger is there in not considering the cost of following Jesus? And I put, some may not consider the things and people that pull them away from Jesus. And for those who follow that path, have to ask themselves if they truly belong to Jesus to begin with, if they truly belong to him, if they would rather follow the people and go to the places and not follow Jesus, but say they do. It's one thing to say you do. It's another thing to actually do it. And our last verse here for the day, or verses, is out of Luke chapter 14, and it's verses 34 and 35. It says, salt is good, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is of no use, either for the soil or for the manure pile. It is thrown away. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. So Jesus wrapped up his point with a third analogy. Salt that isn't salty is useless. In the same way, so are Christ followers who aren't following Christ. Jesus wants you to be his disciple, fully devoted. He's calling and equipping you to finish the race in faith, no matter what the race entails. Now, I know earlier in this devotional, I'm just going to go back to it, where it says here in Luke chapter 14, verse 26, where it says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. He's not saying you have to hate your parents. You have to hate your siblings. You have to hate your children. You have to hate yourself. That's not what it's saying. As a matter of fact, the Bible actually contradicts that train of thinking, that train of thought, but that's not what it means at all. What that passage is saying is we must put Jesus above everyone and everything else. We have to put him above our parents, above our spouse, above our kids. And the hate language there is hyperbole for refusing to let someone come above Jesus. So don't get that misunderstood of having to hate people. That's not what that passage means at all. That just means to prioritize Jesus above all things and all people. But that's it for day 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again on day 3.